and welcome to For The Drive, and welcome to the first episode of Friends of For The Drive of 2018. And today, although the weather is absolutely awful, hence why I've got the umbrella out, I'm starting this year off with a high with a beautiful British V8.
So brave, and we could ride the tidal waves together, escaping all the gamma rays. Tell me, how do we get so brave? Tell me, how do we get so brave?
What we have here is a Jaguar XKR with a 5-litre supercharged V8 producing about 570 brake horsepower, 500 pounds-a-foot torque, and get you to 60 in about 4.2 seconds. Now, a few of you that will actually know the stats of the XKR will know that that's a little bit higher than the standard, but this one has been modded, which we'll go to hopefully in great length as we go through the drive. But I think first let's hear this beautiful 5-litre V8 start up and give us a bit of noise. So I'm now joining the owner, Shaun. Thank you very much for coming out and do this.
Pleasure.
Why did you buy the car?
Well, I thought I'd wanted to treat myself a few years ago, and I looked at various different things, and it came down to V8 Vantage or one of these. And when you weigh up the pros and cons, if you owned a V8 Vantage, you would say the V8 Vantage was the better car. If you owned one of these, you'd say this is a better car. I personally thought that the whole running costs for one of these and performance, etc., were just a bit better than the V8. Although the Vantage has probably the edge over on looks.
It depends. I mean, I think, as you were saying, that even these can differ greatly.
Yes.
The Vantages can actually differ. Like their range of models and what they look like and how appealing they are, I think varies massively. So if you managed to hit it on the mark and could have had a really nice V8 Vantage that was like a good high spec, nice colour, in the right year, then everyone will go best choice you've ever made.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely.
If that wasn't there and you went, oh, I'll get something else but still stick with an Aston, I still don't know. I would say there's more of a potential to be disappointed.
Well, I think my big issue was, I mean, when I first saw these, I've been looking on Auto Trader, lots of different cars. And when I went down to the Jaguar garage and saw one of these in real life, I just thought, no, that's it. It's much better in real life than it looks in the pictures. So it sort of made up my mind, and then I thought, well, let's have a look at running costs, etc. Now, if you compare this to an Aston, I mean, this costs nothing for me to run. It's £200 a year to service it.
Wow.
Roughly. I don't drive it every day, so it might only cost me 80 quid a month in fuel at the most.
Yeah.
And my age, I can get it insured quite cheaply.
So how long have you been doing this?
This is about 3 years now.
Nice. So, I mean, what would you say that the best points about it? What do you love about the car?
I like the looks, obviously. I like the way it makes you feel when you drive it. I like the noise.
That burble is very nice.
Yeah, I like the noise. But as I was saying to you before, that's not the original exhaust. That's an aftermarket exhaust, which has helped with performance, etc. I just like the comfort. You know, it's easy to drive.
Considering how it's got big wheels, low profile tyres, it's quite a low slung sports car, even though it's very much a GT. It does doesn't look like it's a big comfy cruiser from first class, but as you say, these seats, the bumps are being soaked up really nicely.
Yeah.
I think I'd actually say, which is disappointing to me to say, it's more comfortable than mine.
Oh really?
And I've got a four-door saloon.
Okay.
I'd still say the bumps are actually being soaked. I'd say I'd feel more bumps in mine.
Yeah, I mean, this,
maybe because of the larger wheels on this would help, but this actually is incredibly comfortable.
It is, yeah. I mean, we're driving fairly sensibly. We're in drive at the moment. Although I've got it in dynamic mode, it just sharpens up responses a little bit. But you know, that's the thing with this, is it can be a nice ordinary cruising car. You can cruise it around town. You can cruise it on these bumpy old English roads.
Yeah.
And you can put your foot down and it can nip along a bit quicker.
Yeah. Is there anything that you'd say that you don't like, or that you wish Jaguar didn't do, or would have changed?
Not really, no. I think I'm quite happy with the car experience. What I don't like is I don't like driving along and getting stone chips on the paintwork, and I get quite. It's a bit upsetting when you go and have you look. You had a nice drive, and then you see there's about 2 or 3 stone chips on the paintwork, and there's nothing much you can do about it.
No.
But I'm going to get it'll paint protection. I'm going to get some PPF on it.
Okay, yeah.
As soon as the weather changes a little bit.
Yes.
I'll get that sorted out, and then I'll put a stop to that. But no, there's nothing really I don't like about it. Maybe the steering wheel's a bit ugly.
That's entirely subjective.
It's possibly getting a little bit dated. The bits and pieces inside are a little bit dated. I don't think that the infotainment screen has ever been brilliant. Even when it was new, I don't think it was brilliant. But it all functions. It all works.
Yeah. I mean, there is one thing that sadly is a negative for Jaguar. Even mine, as new as that was when I bought it, the computer was slow.
Yeah.
I've been in a few different cars with different infotainment series of similar age, and they just are lightning quick compared to mine sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sat nav especially, but even when you're trying to use bits and pieces like just the radio, sometimes you press a button and there is a delay. Yeah. And that kind of, you get used to it, so you know to press it and not press another one until it catches up.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that. Like, it kind of annoys me, and I think that is actually almost a Jaguar wide.
I think so.
Thing,
yeah.
which is a bit of a shame.
Maybe going back to what you said, certain things that you don't particularly think is good on it. On average, if I drive it very sensibly, I might get 22 miles to the gallon on it. So
it's not horrendous, but not great.
No, but it's just what it is. I didn't buy it to be economical.
Oh God. So you mentioned about the exhaust. Let's talk about some modifications and bits and pieces. So what have you done?
Well, the first thing I did was have a new exhaust put on it, which was a catback. It's a Miltech system, and that's made a difference to the. I don't know if you can hear that.
Yeah.
It's made a bit of difference to the sort of the noise coming from the back.
Yeah.
The original stock exhaust was nice. It was verbally, but I just thought it was a little bit too quiet. So as I was saying before, I sort of looked into it, and I was advised that I didn't want anything that was ridiculously loud and would become obtrusive when you were driving on the motorways, distances and things.
Yeah.
Which, if you take your foot off and you cruise at, I don't know, we're doing about 1,500 RPM at the moment, you can barely hear it.
Yeah.
But just a little bit, and it tends to pick up.
Yeah, that savagery just immediate, there you go, there's the noise.
At the same time that they did the exhaust for me, they remapped. I had a remap which basically cranked up the brake horsepower from the stock 503 to about 570, and also increased the torque. So it performs a bit like a XKRS now. So the same sort of stats, and it's just the acceleration's gone up from about 4.5 to about 4.2, which in this day and age isn't lightning, but
that's still quite quick.
It's still nippy enough.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, is there anything else that you've thought about doing in the future? Is there any other bits and pieces?
no, not really. I'm quite happy with the way it goes at the moment. I'm definitely going to get it fully detailed, the paintwork fully detailed now, and protected.
Yes,
As I say,
that's worth it, really.
Yeah, absolutely. But other than that, then that's it. I think I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, excellent.
I will be looking to get something else for the summer. I think something without a roof, possibly.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and
convertible
less
by
seats.
chance?
But
What, instead of this, or as well?
no,
Oh,
as well.
if you said, right, okay, this car, it served me well, but it's going to go,
Yeah.
what would be the replacement?
Yeah, it's difficult. That I was thinking about that. I thought I would be tempted to get an F-Type, but it would
Stick
be
with the Jaguar brand?
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I'd be tempted to get an F-Type SVR. I don't know. Other than that, it's difficult. There's lots of really nice cars out there.
Yeah. Depending on if you're going new or second hand and things like that.
Yeah.
Budget, like
If budget-
wildly range, like just
If there was no limit, then I'd go and get a 675 LT.
Yeah, of course.
Like that.
Yeah. But I mean, what? Because you were looking at Advantage at the same time as looking at this as a
Yes.
potential
Yeah.
other alternative option. But would you potentially go back to looking at Astons? Would you look at either a DB11 V8 or would you look at the
Yeah, no, DB11
Advantage?
definitely. Yeah, that's a different.
I mean, the price is probably, I mean, DB11 even a V8 is fairly high price compared to what this probably cost.
Yeah.
But
That was definitely if you're going back to Aston, that would have to be the car of choice, I think. Now, what I'm looking at is a small little convertible. I was thinking, but a little bit retro, so maybe like an S2000, Honda S2000.
oh, okay, nice.
Something like that.
But stock, I assume you're not going to go for the whole JDM life.
No. Well, I'd buy it stock and then do stuff to it.
But
So, yeah, I'd make it a bit noisier again. Because that would be a proper fun car. That wouldn't be
Yeah.
going out for the day. That would be just
Proper hoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Oh, I need a V8 in my life. I immediately get that kind of sensation of just like, yes.
yeah.
Inner child is coming out smiling now.
Yeah. If you I'm not sure whether it's the same as yours. If you put it into sport, if you just put it into sport now, it'll probably feel it kick down. And then you get your gears indicated in the middle.
Oh, that's. I mean, everyone's camera can't see, but that's such a small amount of throttle response.
Yeah. So if you're driving it in fifth and you're doing about 2,000 RPM at the moment, you
Yeah.
can barely hear the exhaust, can you? So that's the nice thing about it, that you can drive it sensibly and it's not intrusive. The minute you flip the throttle and go for it a little bit, it just gives you that little. Don't forget.
I'm
V8,
yeah. But it's very directional noise.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've been all sorts of car manufacturers do their exhaust differently, and that's fair enough. But although you can hear it, you definitely get that feeling of it's all at the back.
Yeah, that's
It's not-
definitely not
you-
piped in through the speakers.
No, and you're not getting that kind of resonant noise.
No, exactly.
It's unwanted.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
you're not getting any sort of drone noise or
No.
anything like that. It's just you just hear that little distance of, oh yeah, don't worry, I've got you covered.
Yeah. These A-pillars are a little bit when you like going around this right hand now. If we weren't following these two cars, then it was slightly sharply. Sometimes I find myself sort of having to lean forwards or lean back a little bit, just so that you can see your radius. Smile inducing.
Yes.
And that's why you wouldn't want to drive. Well, that's why I don't want to drive this every day, because I like it. You like to get in it and have fun in it, and still bring those smiles on when you're playing around up there.
Oh yes.
event as much as anything.
Definitely.
It might not have been going particularly really fast then, but the noise and everything.
Almost the thing that you don't want to go too fast because you're enjoying the noise.
Yeah.
It's almost like, just give me that level of noise, but keep it the same speed,
Yeah.
and I'll be happy.
Yeah.
To keep up with new car news and all that kind of things.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting to find out what's coming up and what's available. They always state what the top speed is, and I always listen. But I'm more of the what's its low end torque, what's its horsepower, how can it shift, and they say what's the acceleration to 60, because that's what you're going to experience the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then obviously things they can't actually state is all, and then you start trying to find out how it handles.
Yeah.
Because if you can go around a corner at 60, whereas in another car you can only do a 40.
Yeah,
That's a win.
Yeah.
And then if you can get from 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds, and then you can start playing about, and then you say jump from 30 up to 70 when the speed limits or the road allows it.
Yeah.
And you get that kind of proper rush where you're just thrown back in the back of the seat.
Yeah.
That's the kind of, to me, I suppose that's more real world enjoyment.
Yeah.
Whereas if you had a runway, then obviously then you could start playing about, or you go to Germany.
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, exactly. You go, to Japan or go to the Nürburgring or something like that.
Yeah, and then you can start thinking
Try
about
that, but,
how fast it can actually go around. What is top speed? But most of the time, I've not had the opportunity to take even my car up to top speed.
No.
But I push it to the limit, getting up to the, up to 17, the kind of speeds, on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
And that gets me far more enjoyment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Break away.
yeah. That wasn't a lot of throttle.
No.
There really wasn't a lot. I mean, I suppose it hit that bit of water. So effortless. Yeah, wow. You can really climb up to good speeds quite easily. Wow.
Yeah. Did it very quickly, just slam it down and feel right down. Hard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, so you've got the kick down the same.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So you get the acceleration by sort of gently pushing down and it just builds up in the gear.
Yeah.
But when you kick it down, it jumps down 2 gears, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you feel that the back
was...
wheels are actually going then.
Oh, well, thank you very much. This
It's no problem at all.
Pleasure.
At least it wasn't too wet, was it?
No, but I definitely think in the dry you can have a hell of fun with properly, as you say. I mean, with the upgraded torque. I mean, could you not get the traction control modified?
I could do, yeah. That's probably the next thing to do if I did it. But I think,
Especially, I mean, it's been wet, so it's kind of obvious that it will try and push. But I suppose does it really go quite quickly in the dry?
it's much better in the dry. Yeah, if you're going in a straight line, it will shimmy, but it won't obviously break away. But even sort of pulling out a junction sometimes now, when you want to nip out, it wants
give it a little bit of throttle just to get going. Okay.
And then the problem is it effectively stops on you. So
you just constantly go.
If you're pulling out, nipping out, and it stops on you, it's a bit. That's probably worse than if the back end swung round and
So that is the end of today's video. If only the weather wasn't so goddamn miserable and wet. This car is pretty savage with its power delivery. The amount of times that it wanted to just light up the rear wheels is very smile-inducing, is all I'll say. But yeah, to see how Jaguar have come from that to the XKR down to the F-Type, and then actually transferring some even to the lower models, the XE and the XF and things like that. It's really nice to see where the ideas have come from, as well as just to enjoy such an incredible sound of a 5-litre supercharged V8, as well as experience how well it can handle around corners, and just how comfortable it feels. It's crazy how well planted it feels, even when it's going quite a pace. So a huge thank you to Shaun for coming out and showing me such an excellent experience. If only it was dry, I could experience even more savage accelerations and hard quartering, but maybe in the summer I'll come back, we'll see. But that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.